the bank for your buck, give your dollar a squeezy. The girl's got the answer, you better believe me. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara.
Welcome to Take It From Tara with our musical guest Tom Cunningham, who's going to give us a little play under music. This show is brought to you by AVC Security for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Team Blood, Sweat, and Cheers. That's Linda Hara-Killenbrand's effort to become the Woman of the Year for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and you can support her on her Facebook page. Today's musical guest, as I said, is the fiddler, Tom Cunningham. He's wonderful. Lisa Cantor is going to brief us on long-distance management of your investment vacation condominium. Shannon Favre and the law. We're talking Social Security disability today. And Cameron Miquelon, fashion blogger. It's a fascinating thing to talk to her. Amelia Gandara is going to be here. She is Miss University of Louisville. She is a graduate of the Speed School, and she's heading to the Miss Kentucky pageant to represent our national champion cards as well as the city of Louisville. So if you have not yet become a member of this not-for-profit public radio station, we can talk about the benefits. Go to our website, CrescentHillRadio.com. Click on the button that says Join Now, and for just $25, you get a whole year's membership with lots of benefits. Like, Tom, our great fundraising concert that we had last night. It was so much fun.
I heard it was great.
I know. We had many people come to Expo 5, which is a great venue on 7th Street Road, and it literally takes about 10 minutes to get here from Crescent Hill, just straight across. I went Oak Street all the way down into Old Louisville and cut down on 7th Street Road. We had a great crowd. We had about 9 or 10 bands. They were all fantastic, and we raised some great money for Crescent Hill Radio. So be on the lookout for more fundraisers that we're going to be having throughout the year, and we may showcase some of our special types of music, and we were thinking about different ways that we could do that. I wonder if we have a fiddler's hour.
That sounds like a great idea.
We may have to create one just for you, Tom Cunningham. So tell me quick, when did you start playing the fiddle? And I know that you have experience with other instruments as well.
Yeah, I started playing the fiddle when I was about 8 years old. Well, the violin.
Yes.
I was about 8 years old in grade school. And I played violin, and I had experience with other instruments. Like you said, I played the trumpet in school and the viola in high school. And then I started playing guitar on my own and played guitar for a long time and mandolin. And then kind of realized I missed the fiddle and got back to it and started fiddling instead of violining.
Now, see, next time, Cameron, I'm going to make him bring in all of those instruments and then play them one at a time. And then I'm going to try to get him to play them all at once. That sounds like fun. Thank you, Tom. We're going to be hearing more from you during the show. Cameron Miquelon, who is the fabulous fashion blogger who I ran into at Runway for the Roses and asked you to come on and talk about what you do, because there are so few people in the city of Louisville who can actually say that they are fashion bloggers, but your 33 Avenue Miquelon is the address for fashion, music, and culture, and it's a great website. Yes. Tell us a little bit about this adorable mascot.
Yes. So, camera. Hi.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is Rarity. She is part of the current generation of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. She is a fashion designer.
She's beautiful.
Yes.
And the whole concept of what you actually do at 33 Avenue Miquelon is to bring to the attention of Louisvillians particularly, but this is really going everywhere because it's internet, so anyone in the world can read it, that we are a fashionable, musically savvy, and culturally on the edge town.
I would hope so, yes.
Well, so give me your opinion now that I've given you mine.
Well, I believe we are.
You think we're moving in that direction?
I think we are, yes. My blog is more focused outwardly than my fellow fashion bloggers who focus on Louisville.
Yes.
Like on fashion, all that.
Yes.
And I have actually profiled some of my fellow bloggers before. I have a feature called Follow Friday.
Okay.
And almost every Friday, depending on how lazy I am. What I do is I contact a blogger and I ask them, would you like to be on my blog? Would you like to talk about your personal style and how you got started in blogging? And if you have 6 to 10 photos I could use to create your title card and 2 that are vertically oriented.
Very cool. I love that. Yeah. So when you go to another city and you see a fashion show, how does it compare to what we're doing in Louisville right now, especially that fabulous Runway for the Roses that we did?
That was really amazing.
Quite an
actually.
event.
Yes.
Tanya Ablin was such a spectacular MC.
Yes.
Gosh, I loved it. So how do you compare it to other cities?
Well, I've only been to New York Fashion Week, and I've
Okay.
only been once.
That's a pretty tough comparison. Kim.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've only attended, when I was there, I attended Simon Spur Menswear, which he no longer does. He actually left about a year ago. Simon Spur one was pretty good. It was very quiet compared to Gunner's show.
Yes. That's the Runway for the Roses that we're talking about.
Yes, Runway for the Roses.
Gunnar Dethridge.
And then the other one I can recall off the top of my head is Costello Tag. And that was actually my very, very first show, period. And there was like 5 minutes inside Milk Studio. People come around, the models come around, modeling the wares. And
And that's it.
And that's it. It's over.
Wow. Because this show that we had in Louisville, which was all spectacular, fashion, lights, sound, a huge video screen,
Yes.
fantastic models, tons of camera operators. I mean, literally, they were doing video and they were doing stills at the same time. And there were probably a dozen positioned around the runway and the walkthrough areas. And it was just what I imagined a huge New York fashion style show to be.
And most of them are like Karl Lagerfeld,
Yes,
Chanel, and
huge ones.
Marc Jacobs.
Talk to us about the music scene a little bit in Louisville, because you seem to be pretty up to date on that. And a lot of people say, we come to Louisville and we don't find anything to do. And I said, well, you haven't discovered the hidden places yet.
I don't know that much about Louisville's local scene. I'm more, like I said, I'm more outward, which means more international. I discovered my Morning Jacket not too long ago.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. I think I did a post sometime a long time ago about Louisville's music scene.
Well,
from
what are
hip-hop
the
and
cities that you think are actually coming into their own as the places that you would send somebody to enjoy the best possible music? Besides the Left Bank, obviously.
Where's that?
Paris.
Oh. Well, I mean,
It's the left bank of the Ohio.
I see.
Indiana.
Indiana.
If you're going north.
Oh, gosh, I don't really know. I mean, I'm 34, and I grew up. I came of age right when Seattle broke.
Wow, the big grunge music
Yes.
scene. Yeah, because I was from Portland, Oregon, and I was getting out of Oregon about the time that grunge was really hitting Seattle.
Yeah.
80s.
And grunge was actually dying before everyone else saw it too.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain, he blew his head off about a few weeks ago, 4 years ago. Yeah,
Very sad.
yeah.
Lost a lot of great music there. When you're talking about the work that you do, Cameron,
Yes.
what do you focus on when you look for stories? I mean, you just did a fantastic thing about the iTunes 10th anniversary.
Yes, yeah. Usually I find out about something through the news. It's like, I might be able to write about that. Like, for example, iTunes Store turned 10 yesterday. iTunes itself is 2 years older.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I just decided since the next day is my Music Monday feature, where my goal is, I hope people can see the fashion attached to music and how music and fashion influence each other. That's what Music Monday is about. So I decided, since the iTunes Store's anniversary was yesterday, I would do a post about it. And what I did was I picked a video to go with every year that the iTunes Store was online.
Wonderful.
So there are 13.
That's fantastic. What's your passion in life?
Writing and photography and music.
Yeah, you take some great pictures too. And actually, when we were at Runway for the Roses, we met a young man named Griffin Hardy, who was an aspiring fashion designer.
Yeah.
And you took a great picture of him, which you put on your blog. And I just imagine that probably in a couple of years, you're going to be doing a rather large piece on this kid who
I
just
hope
turned
so.
13.
I definitely hope so. And I definitely hope I have a better camera than what I have right now.
Well, you just got to keep writing and getting sponsors until you can afford
And
those
getting
cameras.
paid, yeah.
That's exactly the whole thing. Well, Cameron, I appreciate you taking the time to come in. And if you are interested in reading some of the blogs on fashion, music, and culture, 33 Avenue Miquelon. And I think, Kathy, you might have showed that website during the interview. Did you get that little email I sent you? Can't bring it up. It's okay. 33avenuemiquelon.com.
Yes.
And it's MIQUE L-O-N.
Yes.
Avenue, Avenue, 33 is the number, 33 Avenue, Miquelon. Thank you for being with us today.
Not a problem.
Thank you. We'll look forward to following your blog again.
Yes.
All right, hang tight, because Tom Cunningham is going to be playing for us for just a couple of minutes. And what I would really like you to do is give us just maybe a minute and a half of fun, upbeat music. And first, before we do that, I have to thank AVC Security for their sponsorship of Take It From Tara. Linda Herrick Hillenbrand and Jim Hillenbrand raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And their team is Blood, Sweat, and Cheers. And you can actually find a Facebook page that says Team Blood, Sweat, and Tears, or Cheers, actually, to promote the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Man and Woman of the Year effort. And if Linda is elected by winning the most competitions, by raising the most money, we will all be cheering here at Crescent Hill Radio. So we want to thank Linda and Jim Hillenbrand for sponsoring us through AVC, their security company for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Ham, Fiddle Tales. Tom Cunningham, Fiddle Tales. So tell me when you're performing on public grounds where everybody can enjoy you.
Well, I'll be playing with my band, the Coffee Zombies, this Saturday night outside of Louisville in Madison, Indiana.
Wonderful.
At the Thomas Family Winery.
Sounds like fun.
For a steampunk night.
All right. And you were at the Home of the Innocents today, I understand.
I was. That's with the Arts and Healing program at the Kentucky Arts Center.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Kristen Hughes has this great program down there. She writes grants and she has artists on her roster, and she sends them out to therapeutic settings. And it's musicians, writers, visual artists, all kinds of things. And they go out. I've played at the VA hospital. I played at Nazareth Home, nursing home, at the Home of the Innocents today.
I love that.
And she's got a whole host of sites that she sends folks out to, and it's a great program.
It is, and I can imagine that the kids at those places really enjoy seeing you coming in with that fiddle.
Oh yeah,
that's great. Thank you, Tom. I'm so grateful that you're here. Shannon Favre, attorney at law, welcome to the show again, young lady.
Thank you.
You just happened to be listed as one of the top lawyers in Louisville Magazine for the past 3 years. How lucky are we to have you here?
Thank you. I love that because it's actually they send you a blank ballot and all the lawyers in town get to vote for whoever they want. So I always think it's very exciting.
And, every time I ask somebody if they know you, they have this big smile on their face, which means that you're popular among your colleagues.
Well, that's nice. I appreciate that.
I know. I like that. And actually, did you get named as one of Louisville's top lawyers for a specific area, like Social Security.
Yes, Social Security, disability, and Social Security and disability this year, because I also do VA benefits too.
Well, that's why we're talking about it tonight, okay? Because Social Security has so many complex layers to it, and people get so frustrated because the understanding is you're always going to get rejected the first time you apply.
That is almost always true. It's 99% of people will get denied the first time they apply.
Incredible. And why do you think that is?
I think what it is right now is there's so many people that are off work or underemployed that so many people are applying that they just have to push out. So in order to get it the first time, you almost have to be dying or terminal, but that's why you appeal it.
Amazing. And you really help people through that process, especially usually they'll go through the process first trying to get it, and then when they get rejected, they go to an attorney, right?
Yes, they can actually, though, hire us right up front because we don't get paid unless they win anyway.
Oh, good.
So I'd rather get it at the front because for that 1% that gets it, we don't really get paid, but that's fine because they refer us lots of people.
Absolutely.
Because they're so happy.
Well, there are two different pools of money with Social Security. Just describe those two different pools to us.
Okay. There's Social Security disability, which is if you paid into the system.
Yes.
There is supplemental security income for those people who either did not pay into the system or did not pay enough into the system. And so the same requirements for being disabled are there for either one of it. It just depends on how much money you're going to get at the end.
Okay, so let's just say somebody has basically not paid into the system. They've never worked enough to be able to have that Social Security money taken out of their paycheck. They haven't built anything up. Are they at any disadvantage when it comes to applying?
No, because as I said, it's the same requirements for being determined to be disabled. They will just get less money at the end. But otherwise, they get the same medical card at the end, and they get the same everything else. The food stamps and everything too.
So let's list. What are the entitlements if you get, say, Social Security disability income? What are you going to get from the government to support you in your time of need? And it's maybe a short-term disability, right? Or is this a permanent disability?
Social Security is permanent.
It's only for permanent.
Well,
okay.
they will reevaluate you, but you start with you have to be disabled for 12 months. It can be 12 months in the future.
Wow.
But if you just stop working, the odds are pretty good you're going to get denied because it hasn't gone on long enough.
Yes.
But from the day you apply to a hearing, which is where most people are going to have to go, it takes 2 years.
So what do you do in the meantime if you're disabled and you have no income?
Well, a lot of my clients are homeless.
Oh, my gosh.
So there are clinics for them to go to. I am very familiar with all the clinics and all the soup kitchens and everything because that's where a lot of my clients end up
That's
going.
incredible. And, this is the kind of information that I don't think a lot of people have because that totally caught me off guard when you said all of my clients are homeless because you don't think about that. And many of us would be in the same situation who have lost jobs if we didn't have ownership or at least, the ability to pay a mortgage, which is pretty much the essential thing to have a roof over your head. So you have medical assistance, I'm assuming, as well.
Once you get it.
Once you get it, which
other
could be
states,
2 years.
Yeah, other states like California, as soon as you apply, you get a medical card. But I think that's one of the reasons California's bankrupt is they tend to entitle people right up front.
Yes.
So it's hard to get disability if you're not being treated, which is why the family health centers, Portland, Park Duval, Phoenix, Iroquois, they're all based on income. So for people who have $15 to pay, they can still go to see the doctor.
Yes. But you really have to wait until you get it in Kentucky, right?
To get a
You
medical
don't
card.
get the medical card at the very beginning when you apply, just
No.
like you do in California.
No.
What are some of the other benefits that you get? When can you qualify for food stamps? Does it have to be approved as well?
No, you can actually get food stamps while you're waiting.
Amazing.
And there's 2 different kinds of medical card, and I don't know which one's which. I know the better one, you have to wait till you've been disabled for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So if they've waited 2 years to get a hearing date, they have already qualified for the better medical card.
What about somebody who's just, let's just talk about somebody who has a health issue. Let's say they've had chemotherapy, their organs have been destroyed, they've survived the cancer, but they, for whatever reason, cannot go to work. They live in a house. They have, the ability to sustain themselves, so they're not going to be going to the soup kitchens. What are the chances of someone, on an average, middle-class citizen who just can't go to work, getting permanent disability?
I think last time I looked at the statistics, 60% of the people that apply will get it, but that's through the hearing level. They still won't get it up front.
Yeah.
Because things like chemotherapy or heart attacks or strokes, they want to see how you're doing. They'll wait for about 6 months to see how you're doing before they'll look at it.
Okay, well, we know that chemo is not going to allow anything to regenerate, right? So you're pretty much going to be stuck in the same situation.
Right.
What's the process if we feel that we are going to be entitled to apply for either Social Security income or the disability income? What's the first thing we should do?
Well, you can either go down to the Social Security office or you can go online. Social Security is all online now. Or you can go to my website. But and just do the application. You can do it in person or you can do it online. and just expect a rejection the first time.
Expect that rejection, just like every performer who just absolutely hates to be rejected. Speaking of which, Miss University of Louisville has just walked into the studio. Amelia Gandara, she's never been rejected in her life. So,
of course not.
And I doubt she'll be rejected at Miss Kentucky this year. So she will not be applying for Social
that's
Security disability anytime soon.
Well, she's an engineer, right?
She is an engineer. She's always going to earn a really good living too, whether she's Miss America or not. She's
So she
still
will
got
not need my services, but that's
she
okay.
will not, but she might need your services.
something else.
Yeah, because if she becomes really famous,
Yes.
she's going to have an attorney.
Yes.
Anyway, and she's already pretty famous. Kids are the ones who really have difficulty, I understand, getting into the system because obviously they haven't paid into Social
Yes.
Security. What do you do if you're a minor? Is it under the age of 18?
Well, actually, under 22.
Under
they consider
22.
you minor for Social
Okay.
Security. It's called the supplemental security income for people who didn't pay in. The only thing is, for an adult, you can be limited in one area.
Okay.
Children, you have to be limited in two areas because they really think you'll adapt.
What does that mean? A physical limitation and a mental
Well-
limitation, or what?
Acquiring and using information is one category.
Okay.
A physical limitation.
Okay.
A mental disability, those kind of things. But there's different categories, but they have to be extreme in two of them, not just one like an adult.
Wow.
And of course, what they get is based on the household income. So for people generally, at least in Kentucky, it seems like if the parents can provide private insurance, then they probably already make too much for the kids to get supplemental security income anyway.
Okay, so let's say somebody's got Passport, which is the health insurance that's provided for people who don't have
Right.
regular income. Does Passport prevent somebody from getting?
No.
No?
Because that means if they qualify for Passport, their income isn't high enough, it probably would not kick them out of supplemental security income.
This is an international problem. I mean, I'm sure that in countries where socialized medicine is in effect, they don't have to deal with this, but especially across the United States, we'll just say here because Canada's also got socialized medicine. But in the United States, there are so many kids who are A, going to bed hungry, B, going into homeless shelters with their families, C, ineligible for any kind of support. And you would think that, when you've got a situation as strong as this, that there would be some sort of national plan. Right. But still, everything is determined on the state level, it seems.
The one good thing about Social Security, I will say, is since it's federal, it follows you. So if they move around, it's now electronic filing, so that everything moves with them. So if I have clients that moved to Indiana or Tennessee or Virginia, a couple moved to Virginia, I can still keep them and I can still help them. And
so you can
case
represent them via a different state because
Yes.
it's Social Security.
Right, and they have video conferencing at the hearing office here. So if we have to do it here, I don't have to travel, so they don't have to pay me to go. I can still be their attorney anywhere they are.
Okay, so the last time you were on, you had a case that was going to the Supreme Court, I understand.
If the judge had denied it, it was going to go to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
The judge has tabled it pending the Supreme Court's ruling since it's a same-sex marriage case.
Okay, give us a few, if you can, give us a few details on what the question is and what the issue is and why it's going to the court.
Okay. I have two gentlemen that were married in another state. So they're legally married, but they filed bankruptcy in this state, and
Got
that's
it.
never come up in this state. So the issue was whether or not to file them as a married couple or as two separate people. But
Incredible.
Because, like I said, Kentucky doesn't recognize their marriage.
Right,
But
well, most states don't.
Right. But other than the Defense of Marriage Act, we would have recognized them because they're married in another state. Just like if you were married in another state and you came here, we would recognize your marriage.
Amazing. So heterosexuals can get married in any state and have the state recognize
Yes.
the marriage. Homosexuals cannot get married in another state and have their home state unless it also recognizes same-sex marriage.
Actually, but that would have been the law up until the Defense of Marriage Act was
Exactly.
enacted, which is why the Supreme Court's ruling on two of those cases this year.
Okay, so where is the status of your case? You said it was tabled. What does that mean?
Well, the judge was going to, my understanding was the judge was going to deny my case.
Okay.
But when we had arguments about it, I pointed out that I was going to immediately appeal it. And so he decided in his ruling, he said he did not want to cause any more noise for the Supreme Court case. So he wanted to go ahead and hold my case pending the Supreme Court case. So it's just sitting in bankruptcy court.
Fascinating. Cause more noise. I wonder what that actually means. Don't
I'm
want
not
to
sure.
cause any more noise.
I'm thinking
Like
he didn't want to
same-sex marriage
Yes.
doesn't cause a lot of noise already.
I think he didn't want to be the person to make new law for Kentucky.
I see. I can. Well, then I can certainly sympathize. Although I wouldn't necessarily support that decision, I can understand why he wouldn't want to be that benchmark judge.
Well, probably not your first year as a judge. You might not want to make new law.
You might not want to make a lot of enemies either,
Right.
which is a really interesting thing. So, tell us about the other cases that you were just talking about that are going to be discussed with the Defense of Marriage Act.
Well, there's the one that I think, well, they just heard oral arguments on. It was a woman who was married, I believe in Canada, And if it wasn't for the fact that she was married to a woman, she would have been protected when her partner died. But as her spouse died, she's not protected, and she was supposed to pay, I think it was $180,000 in estate taxes that she would have been exempt from. And they were together, I believe, for 28 years, something like that.
How much more married can you be?
I don't know.
That's absolutely it's stunning to me. So these are important cases, and I'm just impressed with the fact that you got a case that actually has gone to the Supreme Court, whether or not
It would have gone.
it would have gone, but I mean, it was on its way.
Yes.
What's the chances of it making it there?
Well, depends on what happens with the Supreme Court this year with Defense of Marriage Act. If the Defense of Marriage Act is struck down, then I don't think the judge is going to kick out my case, because then it would go to the Supreme Court, and he doesn't really want to do that.
Exactly.
If the Defense of Marriage Act is upheld, then my case will probably be kicked out, and I won't have any standing for it. If Kentucky doesn't recognize gay marriage, we don't recognize gay marriage.
So then,
I think my two guys will be filing separately.
wow, that's incredible. I can't even believe the story you just told about the Canada couple
Yes.
either. Interesting. Thank you for keeping us to date on the latest and greatest that's happening in the law in Kentucky. And if folks have questions, I'm going to send them to your website. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Fauver Law. It's Fauver, FauverLaw.com. Denise Fauver, who is your aunt, and Roger Fauver's been on the show before from Bernheim Forest.
Costello said that. They said hi. Anyway,
Love them both. Hi, Denise and Roger. How are you? Roger's a great forest ranger.
Yes.
He's been awesome. He's taken me through Bernheim Forest many times and came and talked about the spring season at Bernheim. And Shannon is a lawyer right here in Crescent Hill on Frankfort Avenue, 1752 Frankfort Avenue. Telephone number is 569-7710. And you have a really good interactive website where a lot of questions can be answered. Yes. And you're also present on Facebook.
Yes, I am.
FauverLaw.com. If you have any questions, you need information about Social Security. And the good news is you don't get paid unless they get paid, right?
That is true. And, of course, we do other things, too.
You do a lot of other things.
Yes.
What are some of the other areas of practice?
Social Security, bankruptcy, another attorney in my office is family law. We do a little criminal law, little wills, probate, Working for myself, I get to choose what I do, so that's kind of nice.
That is very nice. And we talked about bankruptcy the last time.
Yes, and if you want me to come back and talk about immigration some other time, we can do that
I'd
too.
love to talk about immigration because, we have so many churches on Frankfort Avenue, particularly in Crescent Hill, that have taken in tons of immigrants. And I can only imagine the challenges that they face in everyday life.
Well, ours has St. Mark's, which is down the street.
Yes.
We've took in, I think, 100 Kieran
The
people.
Kieran, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Sorry, thank you.
No, and they came from Crescent Hill Baptist Church as well. They came to Crescent Hill Baptist Church, I should say. And my friends Steve and Annette were some of the original people who were involved with the intake of the Karen into this country. And they're going to come on the show and talk about that too. So it might be kind of fun, actually, to have you guys on the same show and discuss the legal and the ramifications of being an immigrant in the United States.
Okay.
I'd love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Shannon Fauver, attorney at law, Fauver Law Office. Go to FauverLaw.com for more information about Social Security or about anything else that you have questions on the law. Thanks for being with us today. Tom, are you ready?
Sure.
Give us a song that you actually sing with, because I want to hear you sing. I've heard your fiddle, and it's very impressive. Are you as good a singer as you are a fiddler?
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Okay, that's a very dangerous question, isn't it? Tom Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen, Fiddle Tales.
Way up in the mountains, yes, way up in the hills, there used to be a mountain man, we called him Fiddlin' Will. Now he could play most anything, and some say he could sing. And the one thing that he liked to do best was sawing on them strings. So get out your fiddle and rosin up your bow. Look at old Will, he's patting his toe. We'll make music till the rafters ring. Old man picking in a song on a string. Neighbors had a shindig and they all had victuals to eat. They always had to wait on Will for the frolic to be complete. When he come down from the mountaintop, all the gals begin to sway. Sometimes he'd play that old 5-string until the break of day. So get out your banjo, tighten up the hide, tell all the young folks to get inside. We'll make music till the rafters ring. Old man picking and a song on a string. rug and kick up your heels. We'll dance all night, the Virginia reel. We'll make moves till the rafters ring. Old man picking in a solo string. Diddly-I-do, day.
Woo! Tom Cunningham, Fiddle Tales. I love that music.
Thank you.
You're a great singer.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. That's so much fun. So when you're playing the fiddle, are you tuning constantly like they do with other instruments? Because there's only 4 strings on that thing.
Well, hopefully the fiddle itself stays in tune, but you got to tune your fingers all the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's a big challenge for
The
playing
rosin
fiddle.
is flying as he is playing this fiddle. It's quite an amazing thing. And you've got quite an interesting little neck brace
Well-
on that. It's a little bit different than most I've seen because I played the violin when I was a kid, but
Yeah,
I've never
there's a
seen
lot
that
going on
before.
here. I've kind of customized this to my own neck, I guess. I've got a super tall shoulder rest.
Yes.
And then I've got a custom chin rest where I inserted a piece of wood to hold that chin rest
At an
in. And then
angle.
I've got this kind of custom chin rest pad that
Very cool.
forms to my chin.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
all of that kind of holds the fiddle
It's
up
like
while I'm
Batman's fiddle or something. All the customization. I love it. Thank you so much, Tom Cunningham. Fantastic music. And Lisa Cantor joins us now. Lisa is a denizen of the hood, as we like to call it, here in Crescent Hill. She works for Humana, but she actually has become an expert at investing in condominiums and managing them herself to create quite an awesome stream of revenue. And you're going to teach us how to do that.
All in 5 minutes.
All in 5 minutes. Well, I'll give you 10, maybe 12. How's that?
awesome,
Okay, so 10 or
awesome.
12 minutes. So you basically started out at the very beginning with buying an investment condominium because you thought, it'd be kind of fun to just go and vacation at the beach and
Right.
maybe I can rent it out a little bit. That'd be kind of fun. But
Right.
it's actually turned into something a whole lot more for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Bought the first one in Destin, Florida in 2001 with my sister.
Yes.
Truly as a vacation home, someplace for us to go. We actually had a management company, management the first year, manage all the rentals.
How'd that work out for you?
Very lukewarm.
Yeah?
Yeah, didn't make us a lot of money. A management company charges you anywhere from 20 to 30%
Wow.
of
That's
what they
huge.
get. Yeah, it's a big chunk.
Big chunk.
Big chunk. Plus, they have many, many units in many, many buildings.
So they're not taking care of yours particularly. They're just kind of scraping the surface of all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can see
and,
that.
they're going to like the newer buildings better,
Mm-hmm.
and mine is an older building, but I see that as an advantage.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So what happened when the management company was there working the first year? What happened when you decided that wasn't going to be the best solution for you? What changes did you see when you took over the management?
Immediately more income.
Really?
Obviously. Well, you weren't having that 25 to 30% taken
Sure.
off the top. Plus, I got more rentals.
Exactly.
Because I had one unit to worry about instead of the hundreds that they were advertising
Makes
and
sense.
selling. Yeah. And I tell you, one of the cool things that I didn't think about when I first started doing it myself was that through the communication that you have with your renters, through your vacationers, you talk to them on the phone, we talk via email, and they get to know you, and they
Yes.
get to understand that this is your home. It's not a faceless hotel room.
Exactly.
And they actually take care of it.
Wow.
And it's wonderful. I've
Yeah.
had people fix things. It's like, oh, well, your cabinet door was loose in the kitchen.
So we
and-
just tightened it up.
yeah, we had tools in the truck, and so we just fixed that for you. Or the toilet wasn't working right. I have people that do that.
Yes. But they just
and
have
it's
an
wonderful.
investment. They buy
Right.
into the ownership. And you said that
Right.
there was more damage and theft when
Yeah,
the
there
management
was
company
theft.
was in place.
I won't say anything major. Pictures off the wall, things like that. And you never could say who was doing that, whether it was the cleaning staff or the renters. But again, it was the fact that it was just a faceless corporate thing.
Yeah.
There wasn't a person.
As opposed to you actually fixing it up yourself. And, you
Mm-hmm.
talked about to me earlier about what a great time it is to buy right now. And
Oh, I think so.
where do
Right.
we look? Because low interest rates are a big thing. Prices are starting to come up. You say that
Right.
equity is going to build. What are the things that you look for when you're going to buy a vacation investment condominium? Where should we look, and what should we look for?
Well, I think obviously you need to buy someplace that you enjoy.
Sure.
If you want the beach, if you want the ski slopes, whatever speaks to you, because you're going to be visiting this place a lot.
You have to, right, to keep
Absolutely,
it up. Because I know you
absolutely.
go down there half a dozen times a year.
Absolutely, right. So you got to make sure it's something that you love. You got to make sure it's something that vacationers are drawn to.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. When you go and look at a place, you have to look at it through the vacationer's eyes.
All right.
What do they look for?
Well,
Okay?
a view.
A view is important on the beach.
I would want proximity to the beach.
You would want proximity
Quick
to
way
the
to get
beach.
there.
Absolutely. I can tell you some of the things about the building that I own in
Yes.
Destin, which is called Surfside.
Yeah.
I love the layout of the units because
Okay.
I looked at probably 50 different properties in 4 days.
Amazing.
You talk about being exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
My sister and I were like falling down but we did it in 4 days. And we kept coming back to Surfside because of a number of reasons. One is that the layout of the units is very homey.
Yes.
You have a central family area with the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, and then that separates your 2-bedroom suites.
That's nice.
So it gives you some privacy. A lot of the
Absolutely.
units down there were very shotgun.
Yeah.
They had bunk beds in the hallway. The balcony was a box of a balcony, and when you went out there, you felt boxed in.
Not good.
Whoever designed our building really thought through that and
Yeah.
designed it. And a lot of people do live in our building.
And
It's- yeah.
decoratively, too, you said you didn't do what a lot of people do. You didn't
Right.
go with the beach theme.
Right.
And I think that would be an appealing thing if you bought an investment condominium. Think outside the box a little bit. Go with a
Right.
different theme.
Exactly. When we bought the first unit, it was very beachy. It was very a lot of white, and there were decor like seagulls and the pink
Sand candles.
Yeah, you got it exactly.
Shells
Seashells
everywhere.
everywhere. Exactly. So what we did was go a little opposite of that, and I'm a real animal lover,
Sure.
as you know.
Yes.
One of the things we share.
Hi, Blue.
Hi, Blue. That's my puppy.
Listening at home.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, we went with an animal theme.
Cool.
So we have, again, we don't overdo it, but the colors are deeper and
Yes,
richer.
yes.
And you see a little monkey tucked away in a lampshade or whatever.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah,
and
it is.
you did something completely different in the other unit too that wasn't beachy and wasn't animals.
Yeah, I bought the second unit just last year because the prices were so amazing, and I
Yes.
found a short sale in my building that I just couldn't pass up.
Absolutely.
So that one I went with a little bit more Spanish feel.
Oh, I bet I know why you did that too.
why would I have
Because
done
you're a
that?
flamenco dancer. This is the flamenco dancer I was telling you guys about.
Yeah,
Flamenco
little
Louisville.
sideline,
Yeah, I
right.
love that. So the Spanish theme kind of makes the decor a little bit more unique as well.
Right. And I have some prints and some paintings of flamenco dancers in the unit, and the colors are a little bit brighter. So I try to make them different and unique.
Well, and you
So-
obviously have done that, and you have to make sure when you're looking into an investment condominium that you're going to manage yourself that the building allows self-renting. Because I
Right.
understand a lot of properties, especially in places that are heavily traveled, require you to use their management company, and you want to be able to do this on your own.
Absolutely. And a lot of the buildings also are even going to the extent of not allowing vacation rentals at all.
Really?
That they're just for true residents.
Residents.
Yes.
Well, there are enough people
So-
living in Florida that they wouldn't have any problem with that.
Well, you'd be surprised. After the economic downturn, there's a lot of properties available.
I can imagine.
I can only speak for Florida and Destin area in
Yeah.
the Gulf Coast, but that's wonderful for the buyer.
Oh, as we call it, Louisville South.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody here goes to Destin, which would, I imagine, for people in Kentucky, be a great place to consider looking for an investment condominium.
There are so many owners in my building from Louisville.
Really?
But I rent to people from all over the U.S. and Canada, and that's the great thing about the internet.
That's one of the key things that you wanted to talk about, too, is
Right.
how to advertise through the internet to
Right.
to get a self-managed condominium rented.
You have to do this. And if it weren't for the internet and cell phones, I don't know that I could do this business. But
Amazing.
that's what makes it work. There are two granddaddy websites that almost everybody's on, and one of those is VRBO.com. That stands
Vacation
rental
rental
by
by
owner.
owner. VRBO, Vacation Rental by Owner.
.com.
Okay.
And the other one is vacationrentals.com. And there are others out there.
Yeah,
but those are the
HomeAway,
two.
I saw.com.
HomeAway is one, but
You really want to put a lot of pictures up, I see.
you can. And one of the nice things about putting a lot of pictures up, some of the websites, especially VRBO, the more pictures you put on, the higher up in the ranking you go.
Really?
So when somebody searches for a 2-bedroom condo in Destin, Florida, that has certain amenities, you're going to appear more towards the top of the list.
Well, obviously, because it's more visual and it gives you more information.
Right.
Okay, so there's a great advantage. And you want to make the unit very distinctive, and you want to make sure to get organized. The way that you really handle your business is you return every call that you possibly can within 24
Absolutely.
hours of receiving an inquiry.
If not, much quicker.
Yeah, that's top customer service.
It has to be. It's the name of the game is customer service because you're up against a lot of other people out there. And I think even if somebody writes to me and I don't have their dates available, then I'll write them back and let them know that. And I'll probably send on their information to everybody else in the building who self-rents. We have our own little network
Very nice.
of self-renters, which if you can find a building that has that,
Yes.
that's a lot of support for you.
Sure. Referrals.
Referrals, right? So maybe somebody else in our little network will have their dates open.
Wonderful. And you have to get the keys to the people and you have to give them important information, and you're going to do all that. And I know that every evening during the busy season, which is probably, what, winter?
No.
Summer.
No, in Destin, it's spring and summer.
Spring and summer. So you
Right.
spend how many hours a day working on condo business?
During the busy season, 1 to 2 hours
Every
at night.
Isn't that amazing? After
Yeah.
the full-time job.
After the full-time job of the flamenco dancing.
That's right. And going to Destin for you, which is the place that you go, you always make a point of attending your annual owners meeting,
Right.
which is important for anybody in a condominium.
Yes.
And you go down there at least a half a dozen times a year because you want to check out the unit and see what they're seeing when they check in.
Exactly. When you go down there, when you go to your unit, again, you have to use those vacationer's eyes.
Yes.
And I'm pretty picky. I just went down a couple weeks ago, and because I have 2 units now, I didn't stop the whole time I was there.
Yes.
And that's part of the sacrifice you make, having a vacation rental home. When you go on vacation, you're going to spend part of that time working, cleaning carpets.
But at least you're at the beach.
Yeah, well, that's true. You can look out the window and see that
Exactly.
gorgeous Gulf.
Yes,
you know.
and wish you could go walking on the beach.
Yeah, and you do. Believe me, you do. But there is a portion of that time spent touching up paint, maybe buying new linens or replacing the torn bedspread, because
Sure.
those things happen. It's
Sure they
wear
do.
and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, I've got both of my units paying for themselves.
Wonderful.
I'm not per se making a profit, and that's something you probably ought to think about because you're really not, unless you don't have a mortgage.
Exactly.
I have mortgages. I'm a
Just like
working girl.
Normal people, exactly.
Just like normal people.
9 to 5.
Unless you can go out and pay cash for that condo, you're going to have a mortgage, and you're probably not going to make a bottom dollar profit every
Yes.
year. But what you're building is equity
Yes.
in that unit. It's paying for itself. And talk to your tax accountant. Okay,
Yes.
I don't want to profess to be a tax accountant, but you get an incredible tax write-off
That's
every year
wonderful.
too. All your mileage going down there, all your food while you're there.
I bet Shannon Favre could answer those questions.
She probably could.
She probably could. We have all-in-one information here at Crescent Hill Radio on Take It From Tara. Lisa, thank you for taking the time to share with us. And would
You're
you come
welcome.
back and do some flamenco or have somebody come do flamenco for us?
I would love to do that.
I think that would be a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And one night maybe we can have Blue come in and you can
my.
tell the story of his rescue. And
Which
talk
you
a
were
little
a big
bit,
part of.
well, and talk about his cause, which he has underway right now, which is not to be announced yet, but it has something to do
Mm-hmm.
with Lisa's real job at Humana and dog walking
Right.
for a very special organization in this town.
We can just say that if you're downtown during lunch on Monday, May 13th,
Yes.
watch for some very special doggies
Wonderful.
around.
So Lisa has put this whole program together for Humana, and it's going to be a fabulous success, and we thank you for doing that. We want to hear an update on that, so we'll be
Okay.
talking to you in the next few weeks about the secret project
The
that we
secret
can't talk
project,
about right
yes.
now. Lisa Cantor, give us an email address if anybody's interested in asking you about self-management of condominiums, would you?
It's Surfside Surfsides, SURFSIDESIS,
Surfside Sis.
at yahoo.com.
Wonderful. Thank you. We appreciate you coming in. Good to
Thank
see you.
you,
All right,
darling.
see you around the hood.
Okay.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
give me another little tune to switch between this condominium investment manager and Miss University of Louisville.
Whoa.
Miss Flamenco and Miss University of Louisville. Give us some marching music. You ready? Tom Cunningham, Fiddle Tales. Good job. Thank you, Tom Cunningham. Fantastic. And I just forgot one thing that's very important, and that is thanking our sponsors, AVC Security and the Louisville Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. To be able to attain that title. And she's doing it because her husband, Jim Hillenbrand, has been dealing with leukemia for a period of time. And it's been a huge challenge in their lives, but also a great reward because they have met and fallen in love with so many people in this organization. So if you look on Facebook for Team Blood, Sweat, and Cheers, even if you just put in Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, it will pop up and you'll see Linda Herrick Hillenbrand's campaign. We want to thank them for taking time to sponsor Take It From Tara and to promote the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's wonderful efforts. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Man and Woman of the Year campaign is a national Here we go. We have a beautiful and talented and intelligent young woman with us in the studio. This is Miss University of Louisville, Amelia Gandara, and she happens to be a chemical engineer. We were talking about that earlier. What kind of engineer are you going to be? And you're going to be doing a co-op in Ashland
Yes.
for Marathon Petroleum between
Yes.
now and the Miss Kentucky pageant. So it's a good thing you're ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, because if you had to get ready between now and June,
Right.
what? What are the dates?
The pageant is June 27th, 28th, and 29th.
So if you had to get ready between now and then, it would be a tough thing to do with a chemical engineering co-op.
That's right, because I'm going to have steel-toe boots on during the day.
Will you wear your crown?
They're going to tease me.
I think they are. Let me hold up the banner for you.
Yeah.
This is the beautiful banner that says Miss University of Louisville in red and white for our cards, and show them the crown.
I've got the crown.
This is the official Miss America style crown, which always attracts so much attention. See all the gawkers out there? Terry, Lisa, Cameron, Shannon, Kelly.
They're gonna try it on.
all
They're gonna
Kathy.
try it on.
Yeah, Tom is especially waiting to try it on. He'd be very. Would you like to do that?
Can I
Would
put
you
it on-
take?
Can I put it on top of my ball cap?
Yes, you
Absolutely.
may. Absolutely. Well, you know, the joke of it all is that honestly, we've all aspired at some point in our tiny little girl lives to be Miss America. You actually have the opportunity to do that. Tell me what your goal is in this pageant, Amelia.
Okay, so this is really exciting time because the Miss America organization has recently started promoting STEM fields. So that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Amazing.
Great year to be an engineer.
Yes, it
I would
is.
say.
I would say it's a great year to be an engineer in Miss America.
So that's part of the biggest reason is that I feel like I can really go out there and I can talk from my experience. I'm going into my senior year, next year in the fall, pending this win.
Yes. And it could be the next year, because you may have to take a year off to be Miss America.
Right, and what a perfect time in my life to do it. I'm young enough that I can take that time off.
Yes, you are.
But I can go out there and I can talk to young people and say, look, I'm doing it. You can do it. Here's an example of a young person who's going out there and doing it. There's no reason that you can't either. And there's so many different outlets for you to find a way to make that happen.
Well, you and I have known each other for several years.
Yes.
I was part of the excitement of your last Miss Kentucky run, and you did a fantastic job, and you have a unique and extraordinary talent. Talk to us a little bit about what you're doing this year.
This year I'm continuing to dance, ballet on point. This year I'm picking a little Gershwin number, so it's very fun.
I did Gershwin one time.
Okay.
I didn't dance. I played the piano. Which one is it?
It is a little piano violin play. Just they kind of play with each other. It's very jazzy.
Cool.
Not really well recognized, but it's just fun, and I think it's going to be really entertaining.
Well, anything Gershwin does is okay with me,
Yes.
so that'll be great. And dancing on point
Yes.
is something that you've done since you were a tiny child.
Yes, I think I was about 11 or 12 when I first started on point.
Yes, and you've performed with several different organizations. Louisville Ballet at one point, right?
Louisville Ballet is the reason I moved to Louisville 5 years ago.
Isn't that amazing? Because you were a trainee in the company.
Yes, I was a trainee in the company. I took a contract in Missouri, danced there for a year, and I came back to Louisville because I just liked it so much.
Amazing. And what I'm interested in knowing is when you go to the Miss Kentucky pageant this year, will you somehow incorporate the steel-toed boots and possibly the hard hat that you will be wearing at Marathon Petroleum into any aspect of competition?
Oh, God.
We should ask the fashion blogger what she thinks.
Yes, I'm going to need your advice on how to incorporate that into somewhere along maybe the swimsuit portion or the evening gown.
I like steel-toed boots with a swimsuit. Is it a two-piece or one-piece this year?
Oh, it's a two-piece.
Oh, absolutely. Well, when you look like Amelia, you can get away with wearing a two-piece. The steel-toed boots, though, I think are going to be the key.
Yes.
How are you going to bring this up in your interview? I'm dying to know, because you and I have done a little practice interview stuff before.
You've been helping me prep for interview for a couple of years now.
Well, I had a lot of good former contestants helping me too. So how do you incorporate the idea that you're a chemical engineer without being too bold?
Well, I try to throw it in there. It's a huge part of my platform. My platform is encouraging young people into STEM fields. So they're going to ask me how I got into that.
Yes.
Without a doubt, and I can tell them.
Yes.
You know, I'm doing this now. I'm worked with Marathon Petroleum. I've gone to school for chemical engineering. I'm continuing to do that, and I'm interning. And then I'll have to throw in that, you know, I'm dancing on the weekends, prepping for my talent, and Monday through Friday I'm wearing steel-toe boots, a full fire retardant, you know, onesie, and a hat and a hard hat.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, this year, this is a new season for the Miss America pageant because for years it's been located in Las Vegas because it left Atlantic City. I don't know what happened. They couldn't negotiate a contract with a convention center in the city. This year, for the first time in a number of years, the Miss America pageant has returned to its home and a new boardwalk, obviously, which was taken out with Hurricane Sandy.
Yes.
So how's it going to feel to you to take your family and go to Atlantic City as Miss Kentucky, which I'm confident you're going to be doing?
Oh, I hope so. I have friends and family who are telling me, "Oh, we can't wait. This is the perfect year, Amelia, for you because it's finally going back to its roots. So, you know, just go ahead and win it this year so we can all get that trip."
Absolutely.
They're all looking forward to it.
Are they gamblers?
No,
Well, the
but
casinos are a big draw in Atlantic City, but they are in Las Vegas too.
yes.
Okay, so give us a quick answer to this question. Very important question.
Okay.
Here's your interview question
Oh, dear.
for the day. How do you feel about maps?
Do I need to say something like?
No, that was a terrible joke. Poor Miss South Carolina teen.
I know.
And her maps.
But I definitely know about that reference.
and the Iraq and all the other places. And
the maps. Yes.
yeah, the maps. So what is the big trend this year in pageants? I mean, what are people doing? Are they allowing surgery at this point at the Miss America competition? Because it never used to be that way.
We're talking being able to change the way you look.
As
Yes.
she gestures to her
As
chest.
I'm gesturing to a chest, which is not.
It's fine.
It's
total. It's you. That's the key.
This is me. Yes,
you don't
this
have
is
to
me.
invest to change.
You don't have to invest, but yes, you can. And they actually had that statement on television from one of the board members this past year. If you watched Miss America, that they say that they want each young woman, to feel her best, and if that means that she wants to change things about herself, then she is able to.
Are we still using firm grip to hold our swimsuits down on our
We're
butts?
still using all kinds of glue. There's these spray glues that are not made for the body, but you know what? It holds it so well that we do some very silly things.
Well, it's better than what people used to do with duct tape, right?
Oh,
Wow. Ouch.
we still use duct tape in different areas to make things stay exactly where they're supposed to, but I don't know if we want to get into details.
And we're joking about all of this because actually, you know, having been in the Miss America program years ago myself and having paid my way through college with it, it has a spot in my heart. And I'm very proud of you. And I'm very grateful that you were able to take time to come on the show and share the excitement of your preparation with us. When do you go to Marathon Petroleum and what exactly are you going to be doing?
Okay, so I go to Marathon Sunday.
Oh, great. I'm glad we got you on the show this week then.
The day after Derby, I drive to Ashland.
Wow.
I get to come back on weekends, but what I will be doing there is just helping to learn as much as I can in the technical services department. So I'm helping to fix things that are broken or help make more money for the company, or what can we do to cut costs because the markets have changed. And I sit there on my computer and crunch numbers, or I go outside and literally walk around these huge pieces of equipment that are taking crude oil from the ground and making it into gasoline and, you know, all kinds of different things.
I think I'm going to have to take a road trip, Kathy, to Marathon Petroleum in Ashland and follow Amelia Gandara,
It is surprisingly...
future Miss Kentucky and future Miss America, on her co-op, because that's pretty exciting stuff.
It's surprisingly very interesting just to walk around all this huge piece of machinery and realize, you know, someone had to come up with this fantastical idea, and we're making big things with it.
Amazing. Miss Kentucky pageant being held at Transylvania again this year at University of Kentucky, or
the
where?
Singletary Center at the University of Kentucky.
That's a nice performance venue.
It is.
You will enjoy that tremendously, and it's June 27th.
27th, 28th, and 29th.
I may have to go this year for the
I
first
hope
time in
you
a
do.
long time. I'd love to cheer you on. Amelia Gandara, Miss University of Louisville, a fantastic representative of not only our Cardinal campus, but of our city, and we wish her the best at the Miss Kentucky pageant. Hope we'll be following you all the way to Atlantic City.
Oh, me too.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thanks, Amelia, taking the time to come in on a busy day. Very, very important to us, and thank you. We want to also thank Eternal Health Yoga for providing yoga services to the community and for their extraordinary support of Crescent Hill Radio. Eternal Health Yoga. Eternal Health Yoga at 3410 Frankfurt Avenue in Louisville's Crescent Hill is dedicated to sharing the joyful benefits of yoga with you. Teacher Training 200-hour program is certified with the National Yoga Alliance, and classes are offered 7 days a week by certified yoga instructors. Varied class packages available, including the introductory 30 days for $35. All levels welcome. EternalHealthYoga.com online and on Facebook, 502-424-3164. Celebrating 7 years of serving the Louisville, Southern Indiana community. Tom Cunningham.
Well, the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he's way behind. He's willing to make a deal. When he came upon this young boy sawing on the fiddle and playing it hot, the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I bet you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take a dare, well, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play pretty good fiddle, son, but give the devil his due. Got a fiddle of gold against your soul that says I'm better than you." Boy said, "My name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're gonna regret, 'cause I'm the best there's ever been. Johnny, you rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard. The hell's broke loose in Georgia, and the devil deals the cards. And if you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold. But if you lose, the devil gets your soul." Well, devil opened up his case, and he said, "I'll start the show." And fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. Then he drew the bow across the strings, and it made an evil hiss. Band of demons joined, and it sounded something like this.
goodbyes, we want to thank our fantastic guests today. We appreciate Cameron Miquelon, who's the fashion blogger, Amelia Gandara from Miss University of Louisville on her way to Miss Kentucky, Lisa Cantor on condominium management, and Shannon Favre on the law. Next week, coming up on Take It From Tara, Barb and Eddie are our musical guests. Catherine Furrow will be here to talk about acting for your life. Rebecca Eves from the Arrow Fund is bringing a fantastic animal in that she's helped to save the life of. And Gary Sampson from the Blues Society, host of Crescent Hill Radio's Blues Show, is going to be in with us as well. So we'll look forward to that. It'll be sponsored by the Kentucky Animal Retirement Fund, Amy Bach. We appreciate that sponsorship so much. Thanks for being with us this week on Take It From Tara. Take it out, Tom Cunningham with The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
When the devil finished, Johnny said, well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit right down that chair right there. Let me show you how it's done. And he played, Fire in the Mountain, Run, Boys, Run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. When he gets your dog by the milk, child, no. The devil bowed his head, 'cause he knew that he'd been beat, and he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, come on back now if you ever want to try again. But I told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the best there's ever been. And he played, Fire in the Mountain, Run, Boys, Run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. When you got your dog by the milk, child, no.
Tom Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen.